massive upsets, even a fight or two. It's a rivalry game that has defined both of these programs for generations. Death Valley Clemson Memorial Stadium. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to Hollywood with the latest on the weather.
This is a bright and beautiful day, but I can tell you the temperature is chilly. Not always used to these kind of temperatures here. They are ready to have some heaters on the sideline. I see players trying to warm their hands. Particularly important for the wide receivers. They do have gloves on, and the quarterbacks trying to keep their hands warm to see how it impacts the passing game here today. Back to you.
Okay, Holly, I know you're out in the elements. Keep an eye on that. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. Fielded in the end zone. It's Bennett. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. So South Carolina's offense will start this game off with the football. Clemson just put a beat down on the Gamecocks the last time these two met.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. And Clemson's talent being far superior, dominated, cocky. They got to have an answer this time, Jesse. They were embarrassed a year ago.
South Carolina just has to start faster. You're not going to beat a team like Clemson with all of their athletes if you're sleepwalking out of the tent.
This crowd trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and this crowd giving this defense some juice.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Keep it on the ground. Across the 10, got it out to the 14. That's a gain of 5.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
The run inside. It's McAllister. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. And the Gamecocks decide to punt it away. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. He's brought down, and he looked for room to return it, and there wasn't much there. The Tigers' offense takes the field for the first time in this game. And we get our first look at Christopher Vizina. Last time out, a solid day in a victory, throwing for more than 200 yards and a couple of scores. Looking for room. It's Davidson. There he goes. He's at the 30. He's at the and he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Tigers.
And that is exactly what they wanted to see. They talked about bolstering their speed at the running back spot. They said this guy could do it. And you get a good glimpse of it early in this football game. Palmer, there's one thing to talk about speed. It's another thing to talk about speed. And that guy takes off, erases some angles, and makes the big play early.
It's so true, David. There's so many really good running backs in the country that can make people miss, but when we see them get into the second level, they always get caught. This guy is a little bit different. And now if you're on defense, that's a big alert. You know, hey, if we don't tackle him, if linebackers miss him, if safeties miss him, and this guy gets in the second level, he is taking it to the house. There's a lot of pressure now in this defense to tackle.
Hits inside. It's McAllister. That hole closed quickly. A pickup of 1 to the 15.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read. Read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Sellers from the gun on 3rd down. Out wide right, it's Hunt. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
From the gun, the running back has it. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke, not much room to run. This rivalry dates back to 1896. It's been a little bizarre with the chicken curse, and it's a bit unusual, too, because the state school, South Carolina, isn't the perennial football power. And the quarterback is toast back at the 35. Beneath the shadow of Howard's Rock, Death Valley is rocking, trying to help the Tigers on third down. Sellers through the noise. Out wide left, it's McAllister. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag on the field. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. The Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Gonna field this one in tight quarters. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Tigers sending out their offense, ready to get this drive started. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Davidson. Rumbles ahead for a pickup of 5 to the 29.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Under pressure. And he's sacked. Great work there by this defense.
And that's not a good sign for this offense. You gave up 4 sacks a week ago. Now you're already getting your quarterback hit. They've got to protect their dude. They got to give him more time so he can make plays down the field. Protection is the biggest issue for this offense.
3rd and long right here. From the gun, wants to pass. Big hit, knocks the ball away, and it'll force them into a 4th down. Clemson will send the punt team out. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Gets off his first one of the day. He was called on 5 times in the victory last week. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. The game, originally held during the State Fair in Columbia as Big Thursday, was officially named the Palmetto Bowl in 2014. A trophy came a year later, replacing the old Hardee's Bowl trophy.
Very apropos. A silver palm tree for the Palmetto Bowl. That makes sense, David. This is the biggest sporting event in the state of South Carolina. I know this is a game that you and I have really enjoyed watching over the years.
I mean, so much fun, and the definition, Jesse, of hate all throughout the state, and bragging rights to whoever wins this football game and gets that trophy.
Just going to keep it after the snap. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the 1st down.
And as a defensive guy, man, when you play a QB like this that will take off and run and has the speed to make you pay, it just limits what you can do. It limits the amount of coverages. It just makes you play a lot more hesitant. And you can see right there, man, the guy's got speed. Interested to see how this defense continues to attack this QB.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Sellers. Back's got it on the screen. They drag him down, but not before he's moved the chains, and the screen pass is effective.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. We've reached a break. Clemson has the lead, and we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. And the Gamecocks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They send the tight end in motion. Here's Sellers to throw. Right side, it's Hunt. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. This tight end just creates matchup problems no matter how you try to defend it.
How about the catch radius on him, too? So as a quarterback, you don't have to be perfect when throwing it to him. You just got to get it somewhere in his vicinity, and he can come up with the catch.
And it's knocked away, incomplete on third down. They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on fourth down. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. And that might be the edge of his range, but he had just enough. That'll bring him to within 4.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50 plus, and he did it with ease.
The returner will field it and try to do some business. Tackled and brought down at the 16-yard line after the return. The Tigers send out the offense to go to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Straight ahead, it's Johnson. All over him immediately.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating the loss. That linebacker really knew what was going on.
It's complete to the right. Makes the catch, but goes no further, and it'll be a short pickup on that one.
Well, this tight end, he's got size and he's got some athleticism, and he's very difficult to cover one-on-one. Defense is going to have their hands full with him today.
They need a huge play on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Slips through the line. No chance for any kind of return there. They were all over him as soon as he caught the football. Holly Rowe has an update.
Hey guys, down here on the South Carolina sideline, I can see a lot of conversations happening between the offensive line and the running back. They just haven't been able to get the ground game going. They're talking about he has got to be more patient, and they have got to give more of a push up front. The crowd is making it hard, though. I can tell you it is hard to hear as they try to struggle and communicate. We'll see if they're able to come together against this very hostile crowd. Guys?
Okay, Holly.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. Throwing, Sellers. Unloads it left. He makes a catch.
And I think it's safe to say Lenore Sellers, David, probably one of the most polarizing players in all of college football. You've seen how special and freakishly talented this guy is with his ability not just throwing the football, but running it, the strength, the size, the power, and more than anything, what we saw a year ago was his ability to avoid sacks and avoid negative plays. I know this. He doesn't have a chance unless this offensive line gets a lot better, but they believe they've built that up. And if that's the case, this could be a very special year for South Carolina.
Well, and let's be honest, this is where they spent their money in the offseason. They wanted to fortify the offensive line. They brought in Kendall Browse at the coordinator spot. They did everything they could to build around this young man. Lenore Sellers' talent is through the roof. We know it. Big, strong, can throw it. Now the pieces around him, a big year could be coming for this big young man.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting to throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
Quarterback slides, and that is a punch to the gut to any defense to let a quarterback get out and move the sticks there.
If I'm building an offense in today's football, it's not around a quarterback that can't run. I'm going to find an athlete that I can give the ball because defensively, it starts to limit your coverages. It starts to limit what I can do. It makes me play the quarterback every single play. Just makes your job as a defensive coordinator extremely hard.
The defense wins that one, and the offensive line was challenged by their coaching staff coming into this game to try and get push up front, establish the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to do a better job running than that if they're going to win this one.
Sellers. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game. Running or throwing it. The second half, throwing it specifically. I think they need to find a better rhythm. They've got to find...
They got him, and down he goes, and what a huge sack that might have knocked him out of field goal range. And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. No good. And guys still down by 4, still needing a touchdown to take the lead.
And sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make great. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Takes the handoff. It's Davidson. Just smothered on the play. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Fires to the big fella. Ton of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And the defense, they've got him at the 27. The Gamecocks spend the first of their 3 timeouts. And now everybody chiming in to figure out how to play this 4th down. Clemson will send the punt team out. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Not a lot of room to field this one. Taken down right away. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Here's Sellers to throw. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
Punt is in the air. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Picked up maybe 3 on the play at 2nd and 7. Timeout called by Clemson. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Quick give. It's Davidson. He's there to make the stop.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you got a guy that can fly up and make tackles, man, does your defense go to a different level.
Clemson calls its 2nd timeout. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. Clemson ready to go back to work with another first down. Fresh set of downs going up top. Fires downfield. Makes the grab. Gets it inside the 40, brought down at the 39, and they can't stop the clock. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wants to throw on first. Trying to get behind the defense. Pulls it in down the middle. All the way. Touchdown, Clemson.
And that's just a fantastic job of executing the 2-minute type situation by this offense. Something you practice all week long for end of half and end of game. Quarterback, really nice job. Good job by the staff, too, getting the plays in quickly so they could get up to the line of scrimmage and get going. And them scoring that touchdown with seconds to go here in the first half, piling onto their lead, that gives them tremendous confidence heading in at halftime.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. They'll knock him down, and that will take us to halftime. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. The Gamecocks will line up to kick off and start the second half. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? And the returner goes down. Clemson comes out its offense ready to go on the attack. They start this third quarter with the lead, but they might want to think about shoring up that protection.
Yeah, the good news is you're leading on the scoreboard. The bad news is your quarterback doesn't feel like it because you can't protect him. So, David, adjustments in pass protection, that has to be something they were talking about here at halftime.
100%. Just you can't get him hit that much. He's still doing a good job delivering the football, but if you keep hitting the quarterback enough, man, they'll start to see ghosts, they'll panic, and they'll make some of those mistakes.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. The Tigers want to pick up the tempo.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
All right, this offense needs to come up with a solution for this defensive end because he is a problem. They have got to find a way to help out the offensive tackle to prevent this guy from getting to the quarterback.
The Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Back to pass on second down. They're all over it. They've got him. Great pressure by this defense.
Man, this guy is just starting to take this game over. Sack on first down, sack on second down, and now on third down, this offense, they better identify where this guy's lining up, and they better get him double-teamed because they can't block him right now.
After that sack, the O-line better get its act cleaned up. Third down coming. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He lost it high and deep down the left side. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. He ought to get a little help on this one with that strong wind at his back. All the way back to the 15. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. So they get the ball back after the defense forces a punt, and I'm sure they tried to make some adjustments at halftime after a little bit of a rocky first half. You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41. After the 9-yard pickup on first down, here's 2nd and 1. Knocked down immediately.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys.
Caught, and he's got room. Gets the ball up to the 50-yard line, and it'll be first down.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. I think a big part of this for young quarterbacks out there is if you're going to be throwing into zone coverage, you got to throw on time. You can't stare down receivers because the entire defense has their eyes on you, so you can't telegraph where the ball's going. You've got to hold it to the very last possible second, try to freeze defenders with your eyes, and then throw the ball into open areas of the field, anticipating where your guy's going to be.
And that last completion left him with 2nd and 1. And this is a fun moment for an offensive coordinator. Sellers on the play action. Looking left. Timed that hit perfectly to keep it from making the grab. It'll be 3rd down.
And both of these defenses, man, they've been so good. They've been physical. They've been great tackling, limiting explosive plays. But it's these type of plays right here. When it's kind of a 50-50, 60-40, where the offense has to make the play, the defense has been consistently winning in this football game.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. 4th down, Sellers. Trying to make magic with his feet. They'll knock him down, but he moves the sticks, and the 4th down decision pays off big time. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Running inside, it's McAllister. They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back.
Makes the catch, and he's free. He'll be stopped at the 6-yard line, but what a job picking up yardage after the catch. 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to slice into this lead. Trying to run, it's McAllister. Nothing doing, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the...
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. They make the tackle after the turnover, but hang on just a second. There's a flag on the field. Let's see if it stands.
Good job by the QB there, using his cadence, using his clapping, trying to get this defense offside.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Can hang on after the hit, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, for him not to hand that ball off on the RPO, the quarterback obviously saw something he liked there in the left flat, but it wasn't open, and as a result, it's an incompletion.
On the option. Quick toss. Touchdown, Gamecocks! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option? A quick strike, just as we expected.
Yeah, and quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
Now they'll try the two-point conversion and try to crawl within 3. Throwing Sellers. Flip it out to the back on the screen. He is denied. No good on the two-point try, and the lead remains at 5. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. They'll corral him and get him down at the 17-yard line on the return. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They'll get this drive going from the 17. They still have the lead here, Jesse, but this would be a good time to put together a drive.
You're right, Reese. You can't rest easy right now. You just watch the opponent drive down the field and score a touchdown of their own, so you've got to answer that here. Your playmakers better step up.
And I don't know what it is about momentum. In all the locker rooms and all the years, coaching, everything, you can't quantify it, you can't measure it. And the momentum has swung to the other side. You got to get it back.
And the Tigers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. From the gun, it's Davidson. Pulled down there, but they'll move the sticks, and it's a first down.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Very close to putting a bow on this one. Gives us a minute to check out the top 25 here in the final week of the season and to wonder what type of impact this result will have on these rankings. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. So the final period starts with a second down play. Cuts it upfield. It's Davidson. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup.
And I'll tell you what, it's really nice at this point in the game if you can lean on your run game. When you have the lead, you've got the football late in the game, you can chew that clock and start to really make that defense have a little bit of panic.
Wide receiver going in motion. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Out wide right, it's Brown. Finds some room. Touchdown, Clemson. This crowd absolutely loving it as he rolled into the end zone. That one pushes this lead out a little bit more here in the fourth, and now they can smell 8 straight wins. And it's blocked. Still on his feet, and remember, he can return it. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they find pay dirt from way out, covering 69 yards on the touchdown pass. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Gamecocks offense heads out to see what they can put together here. Giving up that last touchdown was an absolute killer. Now it's a 2-possession game. They must get something. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
How about the big fella right in the middle of this 3-4 defense getting the pass rush? He just anchors down and just pushes the interior of this offensive line right back.
Picked off. What a play to set him up. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter, everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He was in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
A designed run for the quarterback. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. A loss of 5 on that play. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. The holder will put it down on the right hash, a 33-yard try. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And now the lead is extended a little further.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative. Use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
South Carolina's offense heads out to get this drive started. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. They'll need a bunch on second down. Sellers. Rush right in his face. And down he goes. The defense bringing the heat. And the Gamecocks headed quickly to the line. From the gun on third down, Sellers. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Makes the catch on the left. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. When you're trying to protect the lead, you just simply cannot have a personal foul penalty at this stage in the game. Looking downfield, it's Sellers. And he drops it, just took his eye off of it at the last minute.
And those are frustrating. Like, those drops really annoy you because those running backs are always asking to be more a part of the game plan. Get the ball more, touch it more. An awesome opportunity in the pass game to make a play, ball right in his hands, and that is a missed opportunity.
They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. It's getting loud in here, and they may raise the dues on it if they can stop them on third down. Now here's Sellers. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal.
Field goal unit's not coming out here, guys. I think they're going to go ahead and go for it on fourth and long. Again, it's Sellers. He slings it deep to the left. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Takes it back inside the 40. They'll mark him at the 39-yard line, and the interception has set up great field position. Tigers sending out their offense ready to get this drive started. And that interception might well be the nail in the coffin. Offense gets the ball back, up by 2 scores. Got his man. Breaks into the open. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38. The Tigers, right after the huge play through the air, back to the line. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. Knocked down at the 35 after a pickup of 3.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Plows through the defense. And that first defender was just waving at him after that sweet move. He picked up the first down.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense now. They got to get a stop, and if that's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
The officials stopped the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. Here comes Clemson with another first down. The run inside. It's Johnson.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
On second down, let's see if they go right back to the run and put this game on ice. They'll move the tight end. Looking for space. It's Davidson. Looks as if Clemson will have the first down. With a minute 52 seconds left, the defense will use the timeout trying to get the football back.
No mystery on that play. With the lead, we are going to run the ball. You know it's coming, and we are running right at you, right into the teeth of the defense, and they're still able to get a nice gain.
They get him on the ground, and boy, they took the business end of that run as he picked up 8. 1 more yard on this second down might just put an exclamation point on this one. Hits inside, it's Davidson. He works his way past the first down marker, and that will put this one away. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. Quarterback will take a knee. The defense can stop it one more time, but we are close to being all sugar. South Carolina did a lot of throwing before the game, but as it turns out, the chicken curse is alive and well as Clemson wins the Palmetto Showdown. That's going to do it for us here. For David Papa, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football.